Blessings, my fellow travelers. Welcome back to Riverwind in Alaska, a series of videos that help teach you to become, well, hopefully wiser, smarter, and a better person upon Mother Earth. Anyway, I thought I'd, take you for a little journey, a little bit around my property, and have you have an idea what I'm creating here for the future, for surviving, or, also having a good time. Anyway, it's a road into my property here. And we got some power lines. So each time I try to develop something that's going to work, something that's going to look nice, something that's going to be comfortable, and of course sustainable. I brought in a whole lot of gravel over the last 3 years to make things more sturdier on the land. Here to my right is going to be my future sawmill area. Still got a few trees that I need to remove here and a little more gravel on there. But for the beginnings, it's, where we need to start. Off to my left, I haven't marked it off, but I'm going to have like a little gas station, just some gas, oil right in here. And there's Blue and Pumpkin and my shed and some markings back there we'll get to. My home, I'm going to have an 8-foot porch coming off this end, and that wrapped in the house wrap is the pantry on the bottom with an office on the top. That still needs some work. And over here is my garden, my fenced-in garden for the moose. Get a little closer here. Got some logs waiting to be used back there, and there's my outhouse. Going to have to be building the next one next summer. One that has not just an outhouse, but for doing colonics. And here's my log garden. Well, 2 log gardens really. Had this first one in front first, and then I put the second one in for potatoes and different things there. And you could see them standing in the logs back there. That will be my garden shed, and on top of that will be a garden house. And I got these trees here. They're great. I love trees. I don't want to cut anything down, but I don't like the fact that they're shading out so much of the garden with the way the sun comes up. And there's my girlfriend's car. Years ago, Renee left it here, and got my little shed that my son Chai Chana and me built, and my 4-wheeler Buck. So that's what it looks like around. So let's take you back here. Yesterday I took out 2 birch trees. I really didn't want to, but the roots will go all the way into these beds, which will not be good. As you can see things are looking a little bit wilty, but we've already had 2 pretty good sized frosts. And some of my logs are starting to lean in. A lot of permafrost up here, and if you could see the line, you could see that their permafrost is pushing the logs out of the ground. When it freezes up and thaws and freezes and thaws, that's what happens here. So you really need to have your poles deeper in the ground, way, way deeper, or else have a lot of weight on top. You could see my poles for my garden shed, and have a little nice garden house on the top. And of course, more trees that, boy, you got to consider everything before you cut anything down. Got a pond back here that had a wonderful guy, Eddie, dig it out years ago, and unfortunately, he's gone now. A lot of people really don't take good care of their bodies. Anyway, I did a little bit of work in there, and very difficult, I tell you, and I got a lot more to do. So, but I do got a lot of rocks to work with and more to get. Back here is my sauna. This is one of the first things I built because saunas are really healing and healthy for you. And I've had to redo a little bit of things in here. Got an upstairs cedar deck and my fire stove there, and throw some water on that when it's hot. Oh my gosh, Steam City. Really, really nice. Anyway, that's me sauna. Take a quick look here in the back. Let's go this way. My goddess. Had to put some logs up on the top there to keep the dirt, you know, up on top of the roof to keep it from running off. Got some log going here for future use. And my wall's caving in back here, so I need to put some more logs along here to support it better. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, there's always stuff to do. But that keeps me young and keeps me healthy. So, you know, other little projects here and there to do. I'm going to take you back here just for a moment. We're about 2 years away from this project here because I need to bring in gravel. But since I had, you know, God helping me with this project, seen fit to have this big log, this big tree fall down in the perfect area that I needed to clean up. It got a lot of ants in there, and the wind twisted it, broke it, and went down through here. Still got some wood to bring in and stuff, but not right now. For whatever reason, somebody dug this big hole. But the perfect place, I'll take out these two trees here, and I'm going to make a multi-story adobe teepee in here. I've mentioned that into another video that I have. But like I said, I want to try to keep as many of these trees as I can. So slowly but surely, I will decide, you know, which ones to go. I mean, this one's a beautiful tree. Pretty good size. Woohoo! You know, and really like to hold on to it as long as I can. And as long as the ants and don't get to it, it should be here for years to come. But anyway, I will be creating like a basement in this here for storage. So I got to do it right, and then I'll put a lot of rocks from the miners and the mining sites around here. Make a nice big circle. And I even got a road that comes into it here. Got some beautiful property here, that's for sure. Got my neighbor back in there, really great guy. Got a moose this year, and I helped him cut moose for a couple days, and he gifted me with some great moose meat. And again, I got just some beautiful trees on this property. But unfortunately, let's see, you can see in some of the trees we got all this rust on the branches. And the trees, I'm getting some of these trees that are dying, that are not looking healthy, and it's hard to tell whether it's a spruce beetle. It's probably a combination. It's not A, it's not B, it's not C, but it's D, which means multiple choice, all the above. Here's one of my favorite trees. I can't even put my arms around this one here, but it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Big hug, big love. Woohoo! Thank you, my brother. Anyway, another log from that one that fell down back there. And you know, every year I put off some of these trees. They do get a little bigger. And now we're coming back around part of my property here. I have 3.5 acres. I got my property line not too far back here. So behind Silver here, I'd like to be able to build just a small, you know, 2-person cabin as a rental. Make some extra money. Here's some nice poles that I got. Some that got multi-dimensions on the top. Okay, so that's that part there. And of course I got a few other things around here, but I don't want to bore you to death. My fire pit, always nice. Okay, so one of the things that I've been doing the last couple days, putting some stakes and some ribbons out to mark some of the things I'm doing. But let me take you this way here. Well, we'll get this first. So we got the pantry on the bottom and the office on the top here. I still need to extend the office all the way to the top, to the peak of the roof there, so when snow load comes off, it doesn't jam up in the back. So anyway, you can see these stakes here. From these stakes here, and this part here, will be a solarium. So it'll go, you know, pretty high, and I'll have the roof come way over to where I'm standing here. Makes it nice. And then this part here, 8 foot out from the house to that, you know, ribbon there, will be a porch, a little porch. I got my fuel tanks and stuff here, so that way I have a little more storage and possibility for lots of other things. I got my shed that I made years ago when I first got here, 28 years ago. And I've extended the shed to have a wood area. And here's Pumpkin here. I'm going to actually paint it, so I'll probably have to change the name, so it will be more camouflage that I'm creating. Lots and lots of wood and different things I'm needing in the future. So my gravel guy brought in this gravel and finally, you know, covered up all the dirt and moss and plants and everything else. So back here will be, well, I'll keep the road here. That will go way back here. This is edges off my property right here. So right along here I'll have a 40-foot Connex, or I'm sorry, a 40-foot shipping container with a Connex on top of it. So it'll be 2-story, and then have a porch that come out. That way that I have like a bunkhouse for people coming here and working for food and lodging. So that will put the container here with the Connex on top. And then from this point here, I'll have a 20-foot container van. And then the porch will come over the container van. And then it gives it, on top of that, it gives a little place for people to chill out, like maybe a table or whatever. But I'm also going to come off the back of the woodshed here 8 feet and create a little parking area for silver for right now. Okay, so got a little bit of storage over there. And I got this area that I had storage in, but then we were having some issues. Oh my gosh. So this tree here is pretty much dead. Now, when you look around the trees, you got to look for signs and symptoms of when they're not healthy looking. And one of the reasons I had to move everything is because we got some bad looking sawdust looking at the base of the tree down through here, and that's telling me we got ant problems. And then if you look at the bark, this is just not looking healthy. This is not looking good. So I'm going to lose this tree. So next spring, before I build all this that's going on behind it here, I'm going to have to drop this tree probably right through here. I'll have to move that one support holding up my poles. So I got my teepee poles. Years ago I made my first teepee out of canvas, and that's what they look like. And then I got these poles for my adobe guest house teepee, which is going to be kind of like 2-story, well, really 1 story with a little storage on top of it, because these poles are 33 feet long. So here it is, folks, where my guest house adobe teepee is going to be, right here. going to have a bathroom right here on this side, and it's 20-foot diameter on the inside. So along the outside here, again, I will get boulders from the mining areas, and I will make a 3-foot wall, about 3 foot high. So it's going to be about this high. That way it will take the teepee a little bit off the ground, because the way teepees are designed, you'll lose a lot of space in the first, few feet because of the angles. So anyway, this is it. This is what I've been putting in the last couple days. Measuring it, trying to find the right angles. We're looking basically south. Let's see, pretty much this way there. I kept these stumps in for a porch, but they're not really in the best area, but we'll do what we need to do next year. Now over here, this is really exciting. Well, it's funny, now that I've gotten older, and more wiser, well, hopefully. In 1980, I started making my own homemade wine when I lived in Washington, down there in Renton. And been making wine pretty much every year since. And in 2002, I started making beer. So this first area here is going to be my brew house right here, 25 by 25 foot diameter here is going to be the brew house, and then of course have another exit out this way here for bringing the food stuff in. So that is the brew house part. And over here, oh my gosh, we got a 25 by 25 foot hemp house. As a healer and a therapist, one of the things that has worked years ago and fantastic is during the days of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. So, hemp in its own material is great. But what I'm going to be creating is CBDs. CBD oils are just fantastic for healing, for health, for many things. I actually took a friend of mine in Homer to the Panama Reds hemp store, and had her talk to the woman that was a bud tender about the benefits of CBD oils, and oh my gosh, so much for her health. She's old, she's got a pacemaker already, and could be doing a lot better. So that helped to sell her, but what really sold it was one of her friends come walking through the door, jumping and bobbing and like woohoo, feeling great, and my friend looked at me. She said, "Oh my gosh, that woman was supposed to be dead." And I'm like, "What? She don't look dead to me." Anyway, as it turned out, she got cancer, and pretty bad. So when they seen each other, like, oh my gosh, so they got talking. Come to find out that this woman started growing her own marijuana and eating the leaves, in her salads, not so much to get high, I mean, a lot of them factory leaves, you could get a little buzz, but not much, but they help calm you down and stuff. So anyway, she got in these leaves and started eating them, and it just improved her health, just like a whole 160-degree turn. She's just doing great and fantastic and very happy with her life. So hopefully, my friend will start doing it. She did get some CBD oils, but I'm not sure how much she's doing it. A lot of people, they just seem to fall down. Anyway, so this is it, folks. This is my place, and like I said earlier videos, I wish to be able to invite certain people here that hopefully have good common sense. I really don't like to babysit anybody. People that are skilled, I need good workers. It'd be nice to have people that are really great with herbs and plants and construction, and of course artists. We need artists because all I'm doing is building and creating here right now, but I want to start doing some design work. I want to start taking some of these poles that I have and you know, doing some carvings on them, and maybe create my own totem poles here. Anyway, thank you for being part of my journey. Thank you for being here and being patient with these long videos.